Hello and welcome back. Now, before we start adding the code to perform the search, because the search is going to be a little bit complex, okay? It's appropriate that we take a look at the API reference for the search. So on the JavaScript clients library documentation page, we can go to API reference, okay? So go to API reference, and now here we can search for search. So I'll use Command F, and then let me search. You can type search and then open brackets. Now you can see there are different types of search. We have the KNN search. I've not used that before. We have the M search. I think I've not used this as well, or I've tried it, can't remember. And here we have this search, okay, returns the regular search. This is the one we are going to use, okay. Let's see the other types that are available. Equal.search, fleet M search, okay. But the one we are interested in is, I think, this one. This is the one we are interested in. So search for it, okay. On this page, it says returns results matching a query. Now we open, you can click here, right click, open in a new tab. Okay, we are going to see the search API as well. And then here, this takes in different properties, okay? The index, okay, that we want to search. The aggregation, collapse, explain, the from, okay? So if you want to implement pagination, you will need to use this. Now, here, it says starting document offset needs to be non-negative. Now, this information here is very important. It says, by default, you cannot page through more than 10,000 hits using the from and the size parameters, okay? So, Elasticsearch by default only returns probably 10,000 hits, okay? Because it stores them in memory, and it believes anything above that, it can, the search performance can be impacted. So, by default, it returns just 10,000 hits. Now, if you want to implement pagination, okay, where you can go, if you have more than 10,000 documents you want to go through, there is this parameter you can use, search after. Later we are going to see how to perform pagination, but this information here is important because by default it only allows 10,000 hits, okay, to be searched through, because it gets it from the Elasticsearch index and then stores it in memory. Okay, and then there are other properties, highlights, and then let's see which other one probably we can use. And later, I think we'll try to see how we can use this search after. Then size, okay, and then sort if you want to sort, and then fields. Okay, so if you want to specify the fields, you can specify the particular fields you want Elasticsearch to search for. The whatever you are searching for, you want them Elasticsearch to look at specific fields, you can use this. And then it also accepts a suggester, so defines a suggester that provides similar looking terms, okay. So if you want to probably return documents, similar looking documents based on some text, you can use suggest, okay. And then some other properties, let me see if there's, okay, so there's no need to go through, but some of those, the ones we are going to use, I've already talked about them, okay. Now let's go to the search API, okay. So we go to the search API right here. Now I think we've already used this, yeah, this one, which is what we have here, okay. So it returns search hits that match the query defined by the request, okay. So we've used this, it returns all the documents here, okay. And then there are other types of search we can perform. On the left hand side, you can see we have the async search. We have the point in time search. Okay. KNN reciprocal scroll. Okay, let's check this here. Yeah, it says this is no longer recommended. Okay. We no longer recommend using the scroll API for deep pagination. So this is usually used if you want to implement pagination. I think it's deprecated. Okay, in version 4. And there's this search template. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so if you have a search template, ID, params, query string, and then the size from item 0 to 10. Okay, and then we have the multi-search. Okay, you want to perform multiple search at the same time. Okay, you can use that. Let's see. There is this suggesters. Let's see the suggesters. Okay. Okay. So here you want to query, and then you want to search for documents, similar documents that has strings that match this text right here. Okay. You can use the suggest parameter. Okay. The way we're going to implement it is not how it is written right here. Okay. Here is just, okay, the REST API. Okay. So there are other examples. What you can do is you can go ahead on your own. Just take a look at this. Open, just click here. View in console. Since we already have documents, you can play around with it. Okay. Since if you have uploaded it successfully, you have 30 documents that you can play with. Okay. So you just change this to gigs. Okay. And then from 0 to 5. Okay, so maybe the term, let's see right here, maybe username. Okay, and let's see if it's going to return any results. Okay, it's false. Okay, it doesn't match. So you can see, you can just go ahead and try and see how this works. We are definitely going to implement. I'll show you how we are going to implement it. Okay, I don't need this. I can take this out. Let me close this. Okay, and then we have some other types of search. We have the multi-search. The previous one was multi-search template. This is just multi-search. Okay, and count. If you want to count number of documents, okay, you can use count right here. Get count and then pass the query params. Okay, so these are different types of search. Now, I already explained this is the one we are going to use, and we're going to add different parameters. Now, if I go back here to give an idea of how our search will be performed, okay, so we are going to search based on some of the fields defined right here. Okay, so for example, the fields we are going to specify a username. Okay, we are going to specify username. We are going to specify title. We are going to specify description. We are going to specify also tags, subcategories, probably categories as well, basic title. So what it means is, if a user enters into the search box, say for example, enters the text, let me see which text, beauty. Okay, so if he enters the text beauty, Elasticsearch will search through all the fields we are going to specify. It will go through the username, go through the title, go through the description, and every document that has this property that the user typed into the search box that we are sending as a query param, then Elasticsearch will return those documents. Okay, so we are going to search by these fields. We are also going to search by expected delivery. Okay, so that is going to be based on maybe the user wants to filter. Okay, so after searching for some documents and maybe it returns 20 results, okay, then the user wants to filter by expected delivery date. So maybe he wants to see only documents that the expected delivery date is just 1 day. Okay, we are going to filter by this expected delivery, and then we are also going to filter by the minimum and maximum price. Okay, let's see where price is. Yes, so we are going to filter also by price. So for the price, we are going to set a minimum, a maximum values. Okay, so the user will, from the front end, the user will enter a minimum value and then also a maximum value, and every number that falls between the minimum and maximum, we are going to return. Okay, so those are the three searches that we're going to perform. The first is going to be the regular fields, username, title, description. So when the user inputs into the search box, and then if the user gets results and they want to filter, okay, they should be able to filter by expected delivery and then also filter by price. So for us, these are just the search that we're going to implement. Then maybe later you can decide to implement based on ratings, okay? And I think probably we might even do that as well. I think we're going to do that as well. So maybe we want to get all documents that have 5-star ratings, or all gigs with 5-star ratings, or all gigs with maybe 4.5 to 5 stars, okay? So these are the properties we are going to search. In the next video, we'll start implementing this search.